In what galaxy is it permissible to allow a full-grown man to lay up in the bed with your child? A full-grown man who is not the father of that child, especially. Madeline Soto was a 13-year-old girl who was murked by her mother's boyfriend. Okay, and I think a lot of bad things happen when we say mom's boyfriend in a lot of scenarios. Okay, and I'm making this video because I don't know why this bitch isn't in jail. I know they got the guy, what's his name, Steven Stearns. I know they got the guy, and I hope he does every bit of time, and I hope they put him in there with them lifers that just don't have any feelings about murking a child predator. And I hope they put him in general population. In fact, I think that should be the standard. If you do some shit like this, they should be put in the hottest jail in general pop, and everybody should be able to open the books and see what they did. Right? So I'm glad they got him, and I do believe justice will prevail. But when are they going to come lock this bitch up? When are they going to come lock this lady up? There is a lot of things that are said about, you know, deadbeat fathers and deadbeat this and deadbeat that, and they suck. You make a child, take care of it. There's no refuge I'm going to provide them in this video, because I feel like, first of all, I don't want kids because I think it's too much of a responsibility. I don't think I am as responsible as I should be. But if I were to have a child, I would have to be, from my personal standards, I'd have to be an excellent, excellent, excellent dad. I would have to be the best dad I could ever possibly be. I don't understand how people so frivolously have children and then abandon them or don't do right by them. So fuck, you know, fuck deadbeat dads. But there's something to be said about these piece of shit moms with their boyfriends, and how the boyfriend always seems to supersede the interest of the child. His happiness, his wants, his needs. Particularly if the child is a girl child. Right? Because if it's a son, she's going to turn him into a son husband because his father's left, right? So you just have this little person that you can groom into being your workhorse, your confidant. Take mommy on a date for Mother's Day. All that sick shit. Sorry. I think that mother-son, that son-husband shit is disgusting, right? There needs to be a lot more consequences for people who endanger their children. This lady let this man lay up in bed with his daughter, with her daughter. Now, I couldn't prove it in court. I don't have a crystal ball. I'm not psychic. I'm not God. But I guarantee you anything, she knew everything that was happening. And she sanctioned it. The relationship was on again and off again, right? She wanted to keep the man. What can I give this man? What can I give this man? How can I keep him interested? I'm really nothing to look at. I'm kind of dumpy. You know, I'm a little jiggly. What can I give this man that might be of interest to him? What do most men like? Young women. Now, I would struggle to call Madeline Soto a woman, 13-year-old girl, but a lot of men like teenage girls. They're in the bloom of youth. They're in the bloom of their womanhood, right? Okay? To say it in a totally creepy way, right? So she thinks to herself, she rubs her two brain cells together, and she thinks, no, I don't really give a fuck about this kid. I'm a piece of shit. I'm a narcissistic mother. You know, she's pretty much useless. But she does look like a younger, fitter version of me. Maybe I'll just let him, you know, and they won't make it a big thing, and they won't do it in front of me or anything, because, you know, then the jig is up and I call the police. But if I just know about it, but then I act like I don't know, and they do it all surreptitiously, then I can give him what he wants, but he can stay with me, and he's going to keep on coming back because he wants to bang my kid. And he did, since she was 8. Narcissistic parents should be drawn, quartered, and shot. I don't care. I don't care. I can't imagine what that young girl felt knowing that this mom would literally say, you can go lay down with him. I'm going to another room. I can't imagine how emotionally abandoned she must have felt. I can't imagine the fear and the anxiety she must have felt on a constant basis. They went ahead and said this little girl had ADHD. No, she didn't. She had depression. And she couldn't focus because she was depressed. Because maybe every time she sat down to do her homework or study or do anything, she's thinking about this man putting hands all over her. She's thinking about this man, desiring her and giving her instructions on what to do. My mind doesn't even want to imagine all of it. This little girl didn't have ADHD. She had a broken heart and a sense of helplessness. Because what are you going to do? You're 13. You don't move out. What are you going to do? And her father didn't even live in the state. So who's going to defend me? Who's going to help me? I'm on my own. I am alone. If this bitch doesn't go to jail, I don't know. I mean, I don't even live in the state they live in. I might write their congressman, say something. Something has to be done. There's at least child neglect or negligence or endangering a minor. Something. Something has to give. Something has to give with these narcissistic mothers. And I'll say this. Something has to give with these narcissistic mothers who fucking prioritize their boyfriends over their children. And the interesting thing about it is, I believe the mother's name, not the egg donor's name is Jennifer Soto, right? Now, I'm quite confident she got touched as a kid because these things usually happen in cycles. What's unforgivable about it is if somebody walks up and burns you with a lighter and you turn around and burn somebody else, an innocent party, with a lighter yourself, you're evil. You knew how that affected you. You just didn't want to be in hell alone, so you put it on somebody else. You know, true crime is truly just a fount of stories that are chock full of narcissism. They say serial killers are extremely narcissistic, very much about themselves. How could they not be? They're hurting other people and torturing people and not even viewing that person as a living being, just an object to be played with. This is the spectrum of narcissism. I'd say she's somewhere smack dab in the middle, heading toward that. Gonna sit there and lie to the cops talking about, oh, I saw her this morning. Then she recanted. Either you saw her or you didn't. Either you saw her or you didn't. This is your child. You don't remember seeing your own fucking child the day after her birthday? You don't remember that? That wasn't poignant for you? You're confused? This is why. This is precisely why people talk shit about single mothers, okay? As I said, deadbeat dads are shit too. I believe any father that would willingly move out of state away from his child is a piece of shit. So I assume Madeline Soto's dad was a piece of shit because if I had children, there's nothing in this world that can make me leave the state that they're in. What if they get sick or hurt? It's going to take me a while to get to him, won't it? Right? So he's a piece of shit too. But these single mothers are just wild. They're out of control. And you know what? I'll say this. The 50s and all these times when women were like repressed and not allowed to express themselves were bad times, okay? They were bad times, but they did things a certain way for a reason. Because I truly believe that in terms of survival, I think it's almost evolutionary. I think a woman will deprioritize her children for a man every time. Because if you think about it, think about the old caveman days. The sense could be, I could always have another baby, right? But who's going to help me fight the saber-toothed tiger off? A baby can't do that, but a man can. So they choose the man. They choose the man. It's not even a point of if they love their children or not, which these bitches don't love their kids. But they choose the man as an evolutionary defense because in a woman's core being, many, not all, might not feel like they can survive without a man, even in a time with all this technological advancement. They know that if, fucking AI shuts all this shit down, they know who they're going to have to rely on, a man. And so they do this. That's why I think some of those old school values may have been better. Stay married. Don't have a child unless you are married. Don't get divorced. 9 out of 10, the father of the child is going to care about the kid and want the best for the kid. And if you both feel that way, guess what? You got a healthy kid. There are predators who specifically seek out and date single mothers, especially the ones that are weak-minded and especially the ones that are loose. Why? Because she's probably damaged goods. Why? Because she probably, not damaged goods, but she's probably been through some things, and going through those things have made her numb and made her not emote in the way that a mother or a human being should at all, which means that the door is open for you to come in and do dirt and do evil. Madeline Soto is yet another victim of narcissism. She was an object for both Stephen Stearns and his girlfriend, Jennifer Soto. They both used her for their ends. And they should both be in jail.